When talking about Disney, one of the biggest questions on everybody's minds right now is if they're disappointing us with ESG scores and focusing on DEI, how are they still making money? Hi y'all, SnarkyJay Cosplay here, and in this video, we're going to talk about what a racket Disney is doing right now. We need to talk about this. So we've been talking lately about all these flops that Disney's had, right? But it turns out the CEO and the people in charge, despite the fans clamoring that we are unhappy with Pixar, with Star Wars, with Marvel, despite the fact that some of these films are outright losing money, which we'll get into in just a few moments, people like Bob Iger are still making their money, so of course they don't want to go down to the offices of folks like, let's say, Kathleen Kennedy and tell them to buck up and start giving the people what they want, because they're making their money anyway, so why would they make any changes? So according to some recently released reports, it turns out that Bob Iger, who's the current head of Disney, last year made $31.6 million. This includes, but is obviously not limited to, an $860,000 salary from the Disney company, $16.1 million in stock, and $10 million worth of options. And that whopping $31.6 million is actually more than double what he made in 2022. Now you might be thinking, Jay, how is this your business? How is it our business? Well, this is how it's our business. So this past year, Disney actually had quite a few financial flops. Marvel, which was once their basically guaranteed moneymaker, saw huge losses. Sure, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 did really well, but do we need to talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which was released in February of 2023 and was actually a pretty bad performing Marvel movie, and it was also not well rated. And then later on in the summer, Marvel had its biggest financial failure yet with The Marvels, which not only didn't break even, but literally broke records for being the worst earning Marvel movie of all time. People definitely thought that some good old nostalgia bait would definitely put Disney back on track, but Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was poorly reviewed and failed to break even when you consider marketing costs. And if we're going the animated route, Wish was actually a major underperformer, and when you consider how much money Encanto made over the same Thanksgiving weekend at the tail end of the pandemic in 2021, the numbers brought in by Wish were nothing short of disappointing and devastating to the Walt Disney Company. All of these things would seem to show that Disney is in major trouble. Disney stock right now is actually in a good place and supposedly has grown about 17% in the past few months. I'm not a math person, so we're not going to get super deep into this, but really this growth could essentially just be called recovery, because if we look at the end of last year, in August, Disney hit a 9-year low with stock selling for just about $84 a share. And yet, Bob Iger made double what he made in 2022. How is that possible? By cutting back on everything else. Disney has had major layoffs, with over 7,000 employees being laid off, and supposedly another round of layoffs are coming soon. They've been cutting out services and upping the prices of everything at the Disney parks. And they also decided to slow down on Disney Plus content in order to make stuff of quality. Normally I would agree with that, but even with a slowdown, they're still just putting out more and more garbage, and Bob Iger and everybody else are staying paid. It is absolutely insane to me how the Disney company and basically every franchise they own has taken it upon themselves to no longer produce content that people want to see, but to do stuff that will just get them paid. Because sure, we might not go watch these things in theaters, but I mean, they're still getting money from banks as long as they check off certain boxes, right? That's the Disney company for you. They'll fire people, they'll raise money for stuff like fast passes at the parks, they'll raise the prices of streaming services, and they'll just give you less and less quality so that everybody up there can keep making their money. But all we can do is hope that YouTube videos complaining about content and our eventual refusal to go watch these things in theaters will eventually drive them to feel it and start making real change. I'm just here to talk about what absolute bullshit this all is, because at the end of the day, they're still getting their cash. That's all from me. I've been SnarkyJay. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. For more SnarkyJay, be sure to check me out on Instagram. And if you'd like to support me and this channel while getting access to some exclusive photo shoot content in the process, be sure to check out and subscribe to my Patreon. It would really help me out. I will add links to both of these in the description below, and let me know your thoughts on Bob Iger's big payday in the comments below.